So the big question is this: how do young men like us, who didn't listen to society, who are on our own, how do we grow and improve ourselves so that we can live a better tomorrow? That is the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is James Radzinski, and this is the Ascend Momentum Show. Welcome back, everyone. Today was a very good day. So, what happened today? I'll tell you right now. I realized that when we're asleep mentally and we're not present, we're choosing that. Our subconscious is choosing that it would rather us fall asleep than stay present. So that is one thing that we have to stay conscious about. We have to just nail it into our brain that we want to stay present no matter what. Another thing, society has molded our brain. I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but society has molded our brain to where we are thinking, our thinking is capped. And let me explain. So, do you ever think to yourself, when you have a big goal, you're like, oh, I want to make $1 million. And then you're like, but what if this, what if that? I'm not sure if I'm actually able to. All those thoughts, that's not you. That is society has planted a seed. Another word for society in this case is pendulum. And that is a term used in the book Reality Transurfing. Highly recommend that read. But the pendulum has planted a seed in your brain that is not you, but it is that. It's the society, and it's trying to set a limit to your potential. It's trying to keep you down, and that is why some people are successful and most are not. It's because some people, and I know I'm not successful yet, so I can't really speak on this matter, but by the time most people see this podcast, they will know that I'm successful. So you will be able to see what I did to be successful. And one of the things is I am hyper intentional. I am extremely intentional about how I'm thinking, and I'm critical of what is going on in my head. What that means is when I'm thinking, first of all, when I'm thinking and I need to be present, I bring it back to my breath and I focus on the breath. But also, when I'm thinking of a goal that I want to accomplish, I'm thinking about that goal, but then I'm focusing on making sure that all the thoughts in my head are positive on the benefits of that goal, of what will happen when I succeed. But when a negative thought inevitably pops up, I'm getting better at being able to recognize it quicker and quicker. Because I'll be honest, I'm not able to recognize it that often. Sometimes I get into a cycle of just thinking negative. But the quicker that we are able to pounce on that negative thought and cut it out, the quicker we'll be successful. And I'm testing that theory, and I from all of the interviews that I've listened to, all the podcasts, all the books that I've read, that is the one thing that is central. That's a central theme amongst all the successful people. They are critical about their thinking, about as critical, if not more, than their actions in the real world. Because your thinking is the first thing. So I saw there's a amazing speaker named Myron Golden, and he spoke on ClickFunnels Your First Funnel Challenge. And I will tell you, he is like the real deal. If you ever have the opportunity to listen to him speak, I 100% recommend. And that's the only time I've ever heard him speak on that one challenge. So let me tell you what he taught me. And I'm opening my journal because I don't actually remember the specifics, but I remember the idea. So he said it a lot more sophisticated, but I'm just going to cut it down. And there's 3 steps. The first step is to be, the second step is to do, the second step is to have, or the third step is to have. So first you have to be something, and then you have to do something, and then you have to have. So with that, how you do that, the first step, the be, you have to be, that takes time. You have to be that for a certain amount of time. And then the second step is do, and that takes space. And then 3 is have, and that takes matter. I don't really remember what the space and matter mean, but it takes time. But let's go back to the first step. Be, and if you have be, that's your identity. So first you have to change your identity, and that is the root. And then that is the input. The identity is the input to the second step, which is do, which is your activity. So the input is identity, and then the output is your activity. So what that means is if you say, I am a bodybuilder, first you'll say that I'm a bodybuilder, and then once that becomes your identity, you start taking action like a bodybuilder does, and you start going to the gym. Now you don't have to, you can push and make yourself go to the gym, but really once the positive feedback loop forms is when there's an identity piece. Now let me tell you another thing. The activity is the input to number 3, which is your property, what you own, like what you get to have in this world. And that's the output. So number 1 is the input, the identity, and then number 2 is the output, the activity, but number 2 is the input to number 3, which is property. So if you want to achieve something, first is identity, second is activity, and then third is property. And in order to start something, you first have to change your identity. And that, I'm not sure how well I explained that to you guys just now, but that I realized yesterday. I'm not even kidding, literally yesterday, 24 hours ago. I realized that if I want to be successful, I have to act like I'm successful, and I have to I have to shift my identity to an entrepreneur, to a successful person. And that's another reason why I'm super critical of my thoughts, because first of all, I have to change my identity, shift my identity, and also I have to be critical of the negative thoughts that creep into my mind in order to actually succeed. That's why your mind is super important. But also, earlier, a couple episodes before, I did say that the enemy to wealth is not mindset, it's delay. And I agree, but mindset is still a huge factor. The reason why I said that, and the reason why I'm pretty sure the reason why the speaker that I listened to said that is because if you just do something that second every single time and you never delay it, then you will actually be able to move forward. So I think the purpose of that talk was to extinguish procrastination. And once you guys get into marketing, you'll learn that the whole purpose, like one of the huge purposes of marketing is to destroy people's false beliefs and to provide them with the answer. And that I believe that the purpose of that specific presentation was to destroy the procrastination belief. So I want to tell you guys one thing. One thing that I kind of wish that I started sooner, and it's podcasting. I have improved so much, and I heard this. I heard one of my favorite podcasters maybe a year ago when I was listening to podcasts. I heard that person speak, and he said that one of the best ways to grow as a person is to start a podcast. And what I believe he meant by that is if you start recording yourself, or not even recording yourself, if you just start practicing speaking and getting your thoughts and your ideas and transferring them into words, then you become, it's just like a skill. You get so much better at that, at speaking, at turning your thoughts and ideas into words. And I didn't really realize how powerful of a practice podcasting is for your personal growth and development until I actually started podcasting. And I actually didn't see the benefits until maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks into it, and I did it every single day. And then after 2 weeks of doing it every day, I started actually recording for real and then posting it. So the first 14 episodes I didn't actually post. But besides that point, let me tell you this. You should definitely start a podcast. And the only reason why I started one is because Russell Brunson told me to, and I'm trying to listen to and act upon everything that he tells me to. And if you listen to the trailer of this season, I think I mentioned it in the trailer, I don't know, but pretty much Russell Brunson said in his book Expert Secrets, if you post on your show daily for a whole year, you will never have to worry about money again. So pretty much I'm testing that, and I'm not just testing it, I'm living it, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove and document my journey that anyone can do it. Anyone can be a millionaire. Anyone can succeed in achieving their goals. Alright, so I have 2 things, meditation and phones. So if you guys have not added this to, actually, let me change it. 3 things, meditation, phones, and routine. So if you guys first of all, if you guys don't have a morning routine and a nighttime routine, you definitely need to craft that. And the reason is because there's many reasons, but it allows for consistency is one of my favorite reasons. And the second thing is if you are meditating, good. But if your meditation is not in your morning routine or your nighttime routine, I say put it in both, and I do both. If your meditation is not in your routine to where you are able to and will do it every single day after, it's in your routine, so you do it every day in your routine. If it's not in your morning and nighttime routine, then you are missing out, because I will tell you, I thought that I could get away with meditating not in a routine, and I was consistent, but it's not the same. Meditating in your routine, same time every day, there is a huge, it's huge the amount of growth that happens when you start that. And then also, first of all, meditation cures your internet addiction and allows you to get into the zone. And if those 2 aren't good enough reasons for you, I don't know what else will. There are a lot of other even better reasons, but those are the only two I can think of right now. Like increased clarity of mind, everything. But the third thing I need to tell you guys is phones. If you guys are still carrying your phone around every day, you need to leave it at your house because it's not that. You need to detach from your phone. So what I recommend you do is go on the phone settings, delete every single notification that you have, turn off all the notifications, delete every single what's it called? By the way, all the stuff that I'm telling you, the routine, meditation, and phones, are stuff that you need to do if you want to have success. If you want to have hyper success like I'm about to have. But delete all of your apps that are non-tools. So a tool app would be like the calculator. Keep that on your phone because I'm pretty sure you can't even delete it. But delete all of your video games, all of your Netflix, all that stuff. Delete YouTube, delete social media. Delete social media. And also I recommend, I did this, but I didn't do this right away. Delete all your social media accounts because just think in deep thought, what good are they doing? Absolutely nothing. So let me tell you another thing. If you delete all of that stuff, then I'm going to tell you to delete every single app, like remove all your apps from your home screen so you have nothing on your home screen. So that way, every time you open your phone, you have to purposefully scroll and then search for each app that you want. So that makes it even more intentional. Another thing you have to do is turn on grayscale on your phone. So on the iPhone, just search in settings, color filter, and then it like the one that highlights, click on that, and then go to grayscale and turn it on. Keep that on forever. Another thing, I'm going to just keep listing things that you can do. Another thing is to put on Do Not Disturb and keep it on forever. Turn off your ringer, keep it off forever. And every time you are done using your phone, put on airplane mode and power it off. Like actually slide the power button off. And then when you're not using your phone, leave your phone in the basement, in the attic, wherever is super far away from you or we're at normally, so that you have to go downstairs so you don't accidentally use your phone. The purpose is to make it so you have to have a valid reason, and it gives you plenty of time to realize that this is a stupid reason. So if you guys are anywhere where I was at before, and you just delete your phone, not delete your phone, but you stop using your phone, then you're going to be extremely bored and like super jittery and nervous all day. One thing I will tell you, start reading. So let me tell you, can I tell you guys a quick story? So when I was I was always like into self-improvement, but I wasn't really always into doing it. I was into watching TikToks and YouTube videos about it, but I wasn't into actually taking action and actually doing the actual important part. So I would watch a bunch of videos and stuff, and I saw a Hamza video, and he was talking about how to breathe properly. And it turns out most people are breathing incorrectly, and I was too. So I went through the video, learned all his stuff, and I was just thinking to myself, oh, this is cool. And then I didn't think it at the time, but I knew deep down that I was just going to forget about the stuff and never take action on it outside of the video. But then Hamza said something that struck something in me. It really gave me an epiphany. And he said that he learned all of this stuff in a book. And I was super shocked because I never thought that you could learn things that of value in books. I always just thought that books were something that school makes you read that are really boring and useless. But it turns out that reading can actually change your life and improve it. for the better so much. And so I went to the library and checked out that same book. If you're interested, it's called The Oxygen Advantage. I checked that book out, read it. That was the first book that I read, like the first real book that I read. And then from there, I just kept on finding more and more books that I should read and then reading them. And I will tell you, reading is one of the best habits that I've had, that I've developed. Reading, cutting out the phone, meditating, and a routine, and going to the gym. But all those things are extremely valuable and important. So, that said, you might be wondering, what is the first book that I should read? Well, my recommendation to you is look up a book that that has a topic that you're interested in learning about and possibly interested in changing in your life. So I was interested in breathing, so that was my first book. If you don't know what to start, a lot of people like to read Atomic Habits first. I have never read it, so I'm not sure. My friend said that the first part was super good and the ending was pretty bad. I don't know. You can read it for yourself if you want to find out. Really, any book, any nonfiction self-improvement book, even like science books. I read Why We Sleep, and even Oxygen Advantage is a science book. All these books, the science is super good information to know, because I'll tell you an example today. But let me tell you first a story. So I want to tell you about REM sleep. REM sleep is, first of all, when you're asleep, the first stage of your sleep is non-REM, which during non-REM, it transfers your memory, all of your memory that you learned that day, from the short-term storage in your brain to the long-term storage. And then during the non-REM sleep, it kind of connects, it makes a bunch of connections and connects all of your different memories and tries to intertwine your new memories into your current knowledge base. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I had an epiphany today that I should read books and also journal about them. So I bought specific journals for specific books that I'm going to constantly reread. And I only came to that epiphany because I knew the science of the brain and when we sleep. So don't skip over the science portion of your books. Though that stuff is extremely valuable. Plus, you get to tell people about it, like how I just did, and people think you're smart, even though you may not think you're smart. And I think that I have a lot of knowledge because I read a bunch of books, but I don't think I'm necessarily I don't even know. I'm pretty smart at math, but I actually hated reading growing up, and I still hate reading at school, but during school I have always hated reading, but I love reading at home when I get to choose. So that tangent aside, let me figure out what I was talking about. So I was talking about reading, and the books that you should read now. That's your topic. Or let me just tell you some suggestions of what you should read. So don't skip out on the science stuff, especially if you're going to change it. So I read the Why We Sleep because that at the time I was interested in sleeping. And I 100% recommend that book. I recommend all the book, like a lot of the books that I read, but pretty much pick something that you want to start at. If not, I'll pull up the list of the books that I would recommend to you right now. 2 seconds. Here it is. Okay, here. Why We Sleep, Breath, The New Science of a Lost Art, The Oxygen Advantage, Estrogeneration, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Way of the Superior Man, Reality Transurfing, Unscripted, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Entrepreneurship, The Millionaire Fastlane, The 4-Hour Work Week, .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, Traffic Secrets. Alright, now earlier I mentioned that I'm buying a journal for 3 books. So I'll get into specifics. I'm rereading 3 books right now. I've only read each of them once, but currently the first book that I'm rereading right now is Expert Secrets. And I'll tell you the 3 books that I'm rereading right now. .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Reality Transurfing. Expert Secrets and .com Secrets, extremely good for business once you get into entrepreneurship. But if you're first getting into entrepreneurship and you're a little curious, I recommend reading Unscripted by MJ DeMarco, because that book starts everything for you. You have to begin with that book. And he also has The Millionaire Fastlane. I recommend Unscripted because they're pretty much, in my experience, I've only read Unscripted once and Millionaire Fastlane twice, but in my experience, they're pretty much the same book, except Unscripted is way better and way longer, in my opinion. And I read that first too, so I'm a little biased. But other than that, Reality Transurfing, I would not read that as my first book unless I was planning on rereading it again. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe I would read it. No, I wouldn't, because it's a very long book, and it takes a lot of energy and mental energy to actually understand it, because it's got some pretty deep topics in there, and it took me 3 months my first time to read it, but that was because I took like a month break in the middle of it because I was so bored. Not bored, but I just didn't see the value of it. Or no, I don't know, I just saw the value of it, but I was so, oh no, here's the actual reason, I'll tell you. It's because while I was reading it, I was still researching other books on what I should read next, and then I got so excited about the next book that I just wanted to start the next book. So I read that, and then I read the next book, and then the next book, and then I went back to transurfing once. I recommended it to my friend and realized that it's actually very beneficial. But that's why I don't recommend it as the first, because the first book that you should read should be fairly quick so you can form a positive feedback loop in your head to realize that it's a very good book. Or to realize that reading is actually very good. So let me tell you why I am rereading books. So before this, the only book that I've reread was Millionaire Fastlane, because that book is, because I read that book right after Unscripted, but I wasn't really getting into entrepreneurship. I thought I was, but I wasn't actually ready once I realized that I read that book. And then once I was actually ready, about a couple months later, like 5 months, 4 months, I don't know. A couple months later, I realized once I was actually ready, I reread that book to get my mind into the entrepreneur frame, if you could say. And that was a good thing to reread because I was able to retune my mind to entrepreneurship and just business and stuff like that. But once you read Unscripted, I recommend reading, and you realize that you're ready, read .com Secrets. But if you're not ready, then here, let me pull up what I read after that. After I read that Millionaire Fastlane, I read Ultra Learning, and then I read China Study. Yeah, this is all just stuff that I was interested in at the time. So you can just pick and choose, really. But if you want a path that I recommend, if you know you're ready and you're getting into entrepreneurship, first is Unscripted. Second is 4-Hour Work Week, and possibly instead of the 4-Hour Work Week, you should read Deep Work. But I've never read it. My friend has, and I saw Hamza recommend it, so I think it's legit. Deep Work, and then after you read that, Then I would read .com secrets, and then I would read expert secrets, and then I would read traffic secrets. And that will get you into the world of funnels. And that concept is where that's where all the money is in the future and right now for businesses. And I'll prove it because today my task was to actually, yesterday in my podcast I said I was going to come up with 20 names and write it down, 20 emails, and email them. And I actually went above and beyond, and I built out a spreadsheet of all of my local businesses. And I wrote their name. I wrote, okay, here, let me pull it up. I wrote the business name, and then I wrote the address. I wrote their website. I wrote their phone number. I wrote whether I contacted them through phone or not. I wrote notes about the phone call. I wrote email. I wrote whether I contacted them through email or not. I wrote notes about the email, and then some extra notes about the whole thing, and then also whether it was a dud or not, whether I should pursue it or not, or really whether I should stop pursuing it, and I would click that. So I went through and I built that spreadsheet, and I found 57 names. These are all of the names in my local neighborhood, in my town. 57 names of my dream customer. There's a lot more businesses. I scrubbed through over 1,000 local businesses to find these 57 names. I spent like 6 hours yesterday doing this. And I wrote it all down in a spreadsheet, and I've emailed all the ones that I got the email for, and I plan on cold calling all the rest that I have labeled as promising prospects. And then if I haven't gotten an email response from anyone yet, then I plan on going back and cold calling the rest. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because what I emailed them, I'll actually read the entire email because I wrote this email out. So, like this email, I spent maybe 4 hours writing and perfecting, and I restarted it many times. So I'll tell you, here's the email that I sent to 50 people, or not even, like maybe 25 people so far. 25 businesses, not people. Okay, here it is. This opportunity could change your business forever. Oh wait, here, actually, let me restart. The subject of the email is, I'll tell you right now, I actually forgot. Give me 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's the subject. I will help you for free. And free is all caps. So here's the email. This opportunity could change your business forever. So make sure to read this whole email before you make your decision. My name is James Radzinski, and I have been studying sales funnels for the past few months. I'm writing because I would love to build you a sales funnel. Funnels would help grow your company by pushing leads through a sales page and converting them into customers. I'm trying to put my skills to the test, so I would not charge anything. I am doing this because if this turns out successful, which I am confident it will, I will be charging a lot of money in the future for my services to others. To others. I'm actually just going to take out, because I had 2 others in a parentheses. I'm taking that out of parentheses. Alright, so you can get it free before I start charging a premium. One type of funnel I may create for your business is called a squeeze page. That offers your dream customers a low ticket item for free or for a small fee. And in return, they provide their email addresses. This type of funnel will allow you to build up your lists of emails efficiently and begin to market them for free. Also, this type of funnel is in the front end. So we usually like to offer them something for a low price, usually at a slight loss on our part, and then offer them more items that complement that item. And we also offer a few upsells. This process will accomplish many things, including but not limited to: 1, we obtain their emails so that we can begin to build a relationship with them. 2, we increase their average cart value of the customer so we can make more money per customer while being able to spend more on advertising to obtain more customers. Real quick, let me explain what a value ladder is. A value ladder is the progression of products or services that you provide. For example, free teeth cleaning at a dentist may be the lowest tier of the value ladder. This free item aims to get customers into the door so that you can provide them with even more value and serve them even higher. While this free thing is at the bottom of the value ladder, cosmetic surgery will be at the highest tier because it is the most expensive and provides the customer with the most value. The purpose of a funnel is to push people up your value ladder in a user-friendly and highly profitable way. This concept of the value ladder and pushing customers through a funnel has been the best business method for various reasons, including: 1, greater customer experience because they know where to go and what to do. As the great marketing saying says, a confused mind always says no. The purpose is to remove that confusion. 2, business profits because it is optimized for getting a lead and pushing them through your value ladder as cheaply as possible, and you get more sales from them. You may think this sounds like a bad way to do things. I assure you customers prefer this way. Look at McDonald's. Many people love McDonald's and are raving fans. McDonald's uses a sales funnel which allows them to serve their customers at a higher level than they ever would have otherwise. McDonald's is one of many companies using sales funnels. It is an example to help you see the potential benefits of using a funnel. These plans are flexible, and I will mold them to your specific business once we begin working together. I have only shared this outline with you so that you can imagine the power of funnels. I have many different plans and tools at my disposal to serve the individual needs of your business. Once you contact me, we can discuss specifics and draw up our plan. I will be working with a software called ClickFunnels. Yeah. Okay. What? No. Sorry for that interruption. I really have to find a better spot to do this. As the great Dan Kennedy once said, whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. This is what all the great companies are doing. Many people are even saying that in the next few years, you will be unable to survive in business if you don't have a funnel. A regular website just won't cut it anymore. Now, to put into context how valuable sales funnels are, Russell Brunson is the CEO of ClickFunnels, and he would charge someone over $1 million plus equity, and people line up in droves to take that offer. All of this money just to build a funnel for their business. While my skill is not to the caliber of Russell Brunson, I still believe I could make a difference in your life and your company. I'm in contact with over 50 local businesses, so currently this offer is free, but you have to act fast before I start charging a premium. Lastly, you may think this could never work with your business. I only sent this email to companies I am confident I could help tremendously. If you are reading this email right now, congratulations, because I saw something in your business. I envision the future and the opportunities that funnels will provide for your business. Let me know if you're interested. Email me at, and then my email, and we will get in touch to discuss further. Again, I am unsure how long this offer will last, so act quickly. Thanks for your time, and looking forward to working with you. James Radzinski. Man, so I'll let you guys, I sent that to a bunch of companies. I'll let you guys know how well that email turns out. I was trying to use my marketing skills on that email and explain what that there's many things I was trying to achieve in that email. I was trying to explain what specific concepts were, and I was also trying to delete, or I was trying to get rid of their false beliefs. Like when I said, you may think that this is a bad way to do things, and then also when I said, just when I like mentioned a lot of popular names and stuff, and other names and quotes and McDonald's, that was all trying to dispel false beliefs. And also when I said, lastly, you may think this could never work with your business, that was a huge thing that I remembered, that a lot of people think that this could never work for their business. So that was the email, and over the next following days I'll keep you guys updated about my progress. And once I do the free one and once I do a free one and it turns out successful, so this may take one try, this may take 2 tries, it may take 3 tries, I don't know. But once I do that and we get a successful hit, I may even do one person and then keep trying on that one business until it's successful. And that's probably what I'm going to do, actually. So then once I do that and then I make them a bunch of money, I'll start charging other people a lot more money. And then I'll be able to say in my email, like, this is what I did to this one person, I can do it to you too. And then I'll be making a lot more money. So that's a way for me to start making money right now. So, and plus I'll be learning a lot and getting out of my comfort zone a lot, because it's hard cold calling people, and it's hard emailing people, it's hard going to their business and building a funnel for them, which is what I'll be doing once I do that. Alright, well, to wrap things up, don't forget to download your favorite episodes and subscribe to the Ascend Momentum Show. But before you guys leave, make sure to remember the Eagles.